talk about the 2 touchdown passes that Brock Purdy threw to George Kittle, because we get to see Kittle's athleticism. We get to see the gravitational pull that Christian McCaffrey has on this offense and how it gets everybody else open, Shanahan's wizardry, and why Brock Purdy is the exact opposite of Jimmy Garoppolo and how that benefits the 49ers. So, all right, first play. It's the 49ers actually call this play, quote unquote, Hollywood. Why? Because it involves George Kittle to have to put on an acting job. If you remember, I want to say Rams 2018, and I'm sure they've ran it since then, but Kittle had to fall down on the play, and that's why Shanahan said they call it Hollywood. So it's really why delay, and why is just the tight end. For this play to work like this, the defense has to be in quarters. And Shanahan said they didn't know that they were going to get quarters, but he was hoping that it was called against quarters. So what is quarters? The field is divided into quarters, into a fourth. He has the deep fourth, this cornerback. This safety is responsible for this deep quarter. This safety responsible for this deep quarter. And then the cornerback to the top of the screen has pretty much split the numbers to the sideline. All right, that's quarters. When you have quarters, that means the safeties have to honor the pump fakes, right? So I'm pumping left. You can see no hesitation. He's going balls to the wall to get to Ray McLeod. You can see how the second pump fake, Quandre Diggs to the bottom of the screen here, doesn't have to overreact as much because he knows he has help, but still the pump fake is just going to move the safety. That's all you're trying to do, move him a little bit. And then you see nobody there. And George Kittle, by the time he catches and turns around, is already getting up to top gear, and the safety is about five yards away from him. So look at all this space in front. Just by 2 simple pump fakes, knowing your opponent, you're able to create that much space. And then it helps to have the gravitational pull that comes with Christian McCaffrey. So you have 1-on-2 to the bottom of the screen. To the top of the screen. You have, look at the defense react to number 23. They know, especially up until this point, how often. So Christian McCaffrey got the ball, I believe, on 8 of the 10 first plays of the game. So they went out of their way to make sure that Christian McCaffrey is going to get the ball. Why wouldn't you, right? He's one of the best players, skill guys in the NFL. So here we go. See the defense overreact. And again, you can see Kittle use his athleticism and speed to run away from the defense. Another wrinkle that works, and that you're just, again, trying to move the defense side to side, horizontally. How do you do that? By pulling linemen. So you're going to fake the screen to McCaffrey. You're also going to pull the guard. By doing so, that's as good as it gets. That's Shanahan just pulling all the strings on this play. Hell of a play. Really good concept. Great execution. You have to have the pass protection for that play to work. And sure enough, touchdown. All right, next play. This is where familiarity comes back to bite the Seahawks. And all right, let's just walk through it. So they're in man coverage, and how do we know that? Because 26 is going across the formation with Juwan Jennings here. That tells us they're in man coverage. For the most part, and I actually went back to week 2 and kind of watched this as well. When Brandon Ayuk is one-on-one, the Seahawks are going to double him. So this is man coverage across the board. Everybody has man. He's responsible for him. He's responsible for him. And it's one double. So they're going to double Brandon Ayuk and essentially make anybody else beat them, which in theory is good. It makes sense, right? Unfortunately for Seattle, there are other weapons that they need to account for. Okay, so now that we took care of that, let's go back to the 49ers side of things. How are they going to attack? How is Brock Purdy going to attack? So, as we just showed, his first read on this play is this backside slant. And why? Remember, I've talked over and over about throwing away from the rotation. So, I know both linebackers are moving this way. So he knows this is where my first read should go. There is a player in the throwing window, so there's no need to force it. It's not there. Go to your next read. What's my next read? This over-the-ball spot route, whatever you want to call it. Juwan Jennings is just sitting down there. He doesn't want to throw that. This is probably a throw where Jimmy Garoppolo gets rid of it. 49ers get 5 or 6 yards. Live for another down. Keep the chains moving. You're ahead of schedule, right? We've seen that time and time again. How many other times have we seen guys running down the field We've been showing screenshots for years and years. People get so frustrated at it that, oh, that'll never happen. They'll never throw it. What's wrong with 5 or 6 yards? Well, now we are seeing that over the past couple of weeks. How does George Kittle get so open? By the way, this is 4th read. So it goes Ayuk to the bottom of the screen. Jennings over the ball. And then Christian McCaffrey on this swing route. And if he were to throw this, if Purdy were to throw this to McCaffrey, again, this is just nuts that Shanahan has this many built-in options for the quarterback, but it's a built-in swing flare screen, whatever you want to call it. So Purdy could, if he were to throw this, again, McCaffrey probably picks up 7, 8, maybe more if he makes this guy miss. That would be no problem. You wouldn't fault him at all. But he's always looking for the home run, and this is the 3rd week in a row that that's happened. And that means something because you use the entire field. It opens up running lanes. It opens up passing lanes. It opens up your offense. Okay, how does Kittle get so wide open? How do you not account for George freaking Kittle? All right, so I mentioned that Seattle's in man coverage, or 1 double, because they're doubling. Let's see to the top of the screen. So as the cornerback in man coverage, the way that they're running this, he has the new number 1. Let's see how it plays out. So once Jennings sits inside, he is no longer the number 1 receiver. Now he eliminates himself. He goes underneath because in most defenses, you're going to let this guy be taken by the linebackers underneath coverage. So the rookie, who's been playing very well, Tariq Woolen, he gets a little nosy, gets caught peeking, leaves George Kittle. And you understand why the underneath defenders go for Christian McCaffrey, because, again, why wouldn't you for 23? But, again, this is Shanahan picking on a rookie. This is Shanahan having built-in options for his quarterback, and this is the quarterback being aggressive, doing what he does, going down the field. Honestly, these are the type of plays that will put the 49ers over the top. It has to happen consistently. There's no doubt about it. It can't just be 3 games. But through 3 games, they've been there. And for him to be looking down the field, and you can see that he's not going to throw this swing screen to McCaffrey, but 1, 2, that is very impressive right there. Just going from first read, not there. Second read, there was a slight glance. Watch him. Slight, that right there, that little shift of the shoulders, I know that had to influence 51 right here because, watch. Oh, yeah. That is how you quarterback in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. A tight end right there. Not a lot of folks can make 2 guys miss in the open field, but it's nice to see George Kittle involved, isn't it? Like people have been clamoring for his involvement in the offense, and sure enough, we're getting it. And he is a heck of a playmaker. But this play is all Purdy. This play is all 13. Don't like what I see there. I'm not going to settle for this over the ball route. Influence defense underneath. Go up top to 85. You do the rest. This Purdy fella is looking like the real deal. Passed his first test, passed his second test, went on the road, and passed his third test.